Welcome to part 2 of the homework machine. In the first portion of the book, we were introduced to the 4 members of the D Squad: Kelsey, Judy, Brenton, and Snick, or Sam, and their teacher, Miss Rasmussen, a couple of the parents, another classmate, Ronnie, the police chief. We don't have a ton in the way of plot, really, in terms of how the story is going to play out. We were just introduced to the characters and learned a little bit more about their personalities as they describe whatever it was that happened that got the police involved to Police Chief Rebecca Fish as part of their punishment. So as their perspective rotates, we'll learn a little bit more about what happened, and let's pick up from where we left off with them saying how sometimes even good kids do bad stuff. Kelsey Donnelly, grade 5. I guess it all started because of homework. Homework sucks, but I do it. It'd suck even worse to fail and have to repeat a grade because I didn't do my homework. Sam Dawkins, grade 5. I've always been anti-homework, and I'll tell you why. We work at school all day long. Then finally 3 o'clock comes and we can go home. And what do we have to do at home? More schoolwork. It's not fair. When I get home from school, my brain needs a rest. I want to hang out, watch some TV, or play video games. Homework is like punishment you get just for being a kid. Miss Rasmussen, 5th grade teacher. I came across a worksheet titled The 10 Commandments of Homework. I made a copy for everyone in the class, and for their first homework assignment of the year, I asked everyone to write his or her feelings about it. It went like this. The 10 Commandments of Homework. Number 1, homework is an essential part of learning. Number 2, not doing your homework because you do not believe in homework is self-defeating behavior. Number 3, keep track of your daily assignments. Number 4, the more you review information, the easier it is to remember and the longer you are able to retain it. Even though you may not have written work to do, you can always review or reread assignments. Number 5, it is your responsibility to find out what you have missed when you are absent. Take the initiative to ask a classmate or teacher what you need to make up. Number 6, have a place to study that works for you, one that is free from distractions. Be honest with yourself about how well you study when the TV or stereo is playing. Number 7, make sure you have everything you need before you begin to work. Number 8, develop a schedule you can follow. Number 9, be rested when you study. It is okay to study in short blocks of time. Marathon study sessions may be self-defeating. Study for 30 to 40 minutes at a time, then take a 5 to 10 minute break. Estimate the amount of time it will take to do an assignment and plan your break time accordingly. Number 10, prioritize your homework so that you begin with the most important assignment first. For instance, study for a test, then do a smaller daily assignment. Sam Dawkins. Miss R gave us this dumb assignment to write about those 10 commandments of homework. So this is what I turned in. Snickwad's 10 commandments of homework. Number 1, we live in a democracy where we have freedom, right? We're entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So how can I pursue happiness if I have to spend every night doing homework? Homework is cruel, totalitarian punishment created by grown-ups to take away the freedoms of poor, defenseless children. Number 2, nobody ever saved a life, won a war, stopped a crime, or cured a disease while they were doing homework. Think of all the good things we could be accomplishing if we didn't have to spend so much time doing homework. Number 3, doing homework causes eye strain, fatigue, insomnia, and other physical ailments. Number 4, Thomas Edison went to school for 4 months. He never did any homework, and look how well he turned out. Number 5, there's a name for working without getting paid. It's called slavery, and it was banned during the Civil War. If kids are forced to do homework, they should get paid for it. Number 6, homework is proof of teacher incompetence. If a teacher's any good, students would learn the stuff in school and wouldn't have to learn it again at home. Number 7, doing homework wastes valuable natural resources. We have to use lots of energy to keep all those light bulbs burning. We have to cut down trees to make paper and pencils and stuff. We'd save a lot of energy by banning homework. Number 8, I keep hearing that American kids are way too fat, and that's because we don't get enough exercise. For every minute kids are doing homework, we're getting fatter. Kids should be outside running around and getting exercise, not inside doing worksheets. Number 9, virtually every known murderer, bank robber, and criminal did homework when they were children. How can we be sure the homework didn't cause the criminal behavior? Number 10, homework sucks. There should be a constitutional amendment banning it. Miss Rasmussen. I didn't like what Sam wrote, but I gave him a B for using creativity. Sam's mom. We've had to move around a lot, and Sam never got to stay in one school very long. My husband was stationed in Oregon, and we liked living there. But Sam was going through a difficult phase, and he got suspended from school last year. We thought it would be a good idea to move and just get a fresh start somewhere else. There's an Air Force base near Phoenix. My husband requested a transfer, and that's what brought us here. That was before the war broke out, of course. Back in Oregon, Sam simply refused to get a haircut, and he refused to do his homework. We couldn't do anything to help him. What are you supposed to do? Strap your child to a chair and whip him? Kids reach an age when they naturally become defiant. So we made a deal with Sam. He didn't have to get a haircut if he would do his homework. We figured that homework was more important than hair. When it comes to raising kids, you just have to choose your battles. His hair looked horrible, but at least he was doing his homework. Judy Douglas. Okay, I admit it. I like homework. Kids make fun of me and all, but I think it's a necessary part of our education. Homework reinforces what we learn in school each day. My friends and I used to go over to each other's houses and do our homework together. It was fun. It was a social thing. I always thought Snick made a big deal out of nothing. It's just homework. Miss Rasmussen. Compared to the other teachers, I don't even really assign that much homework. I give the students about 45 minutes a night. That's it. It was a lot different when I was a child. I remember spending hours every night doing homework. I practically lived in the library. I never complained. Back in those days, if you didn't do your homework or you misbehaved, you might get a yardstick wrapped against your knuckles. Today, of course, we don't do that. Then again, I'd say the kids aren't as motivated these days either. We study a lot about Arizona history and geography of the western United States in 5th grade, so we devote a lot of time to that. We also cover the solar system, explorers, things like that. I thought the kids would like it. The homework isn't that hard. Sam Dawkins. So one day back in September, Miss Rasmussen passes out our homework assignment just as the bell rings. I'm in a bad mood because it's been a long day and I just don't feel like going home to do more schoolwork. You know what I mean? And I look over at Brent. He sticks the homework assignment in his backpack like it doesn't bother him at all. You could probably give that guy 10 hours of homework and he'd be perfectly happy. The kid is like a human computer. So I start in on him saying he probably spends all his free time doing homework. And he says something in that voice of his like, well, no, actually I don't spend any time at all doing homework. Say what? I ask him if he's got a brother or sister who does his homework for him. That'd be a sweet deal, right? He says no. He says he invented a machine that does his homework for him. I said, get out of town. That was the first I heard of the homework machine. Brenton Damagachi. It was a mistake on my part. I allowed my emotions to govern my behavior. But I have never understood why average or below average students feel a necessity to poke fun at those of us who work hard and do well in school. If anything, it should be the other way around. I suppose I didn't appreciate Snick making fun of me, but it was a fatal blunder on my part to have told him about the homework machine. I accept full responsibility. Judy Douglas. I remember that day we first heard about the homework machine. It was late September, maybe early October. I heard Brenton and Snick talking, or at least I heard Brenton say something about a machine that does your homework for you. A homework machine, can you imagine? Well, it sounded like science fiction. It sounded like a joke. But Brenton isn't exactly known for his sense of humor. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard him crack a joke. At least not on purpose. Sometimes the kids laugh at the things he says when he's trying to be serious. Not me, though. That's rude. I thought about raising my hand and telling Miss Rasmussen what I had overheard. But I knew everybody already thought I was a big goody two-shoes, and I didn't want them calling me a tattletale, too. Maybe I should have told Miss Rasmussen. None of this would have happened. I might have mentioned it to Kelsey. Kelsey Donnelly. Oh, I totally believed it. Brenton's a dork, but he's a genius dork. I know he's going to find a cure for cancer or win the Nobel Prize or something like that when he grows up. If any kid could create a machine that would do your homework for you, Brenton is the kid. And what's so amazing about it anyhow? They put a man on the moon, right? They grow babies in test tubes, right? So why couldn't somebody invent a machine that could do homework? Brenton Damagachi. I knew I should never have told Snick. As soon as the words left my mouth, I realized it was a mistake. Secrets are best kept secret. That's why they are called secrets. If I had kept my mouth shut, none of this would have happened. Sam Dawkins. I say to Brenton, get out of town. There's no such thing as a machine that can do your homework for you. He says there is too, and he's got one. I tell him if he really has a machine like that, he should show it to me. Put up or shut up, right? And when he says he doesn't want to, I just say that's proof he made the whole thing up. He looks all guilty, like maybe he's going to cry or something. Judy Douglas. I told Snick to leave Brenton alone, but he wouldn't. He pestered him all the way out to the playground. It was really mean. Snick is just one of those kids who doesn't know when to stop. He'll do something mean or say something mean, and you tell him to stop, but he'll keep doing it. Then you raise your voice a little and say, stop it, and he keeps doing it. And then finally you shout at him, stop it. And he acts like, whoa, you don't have to shout, but you do have to shout. Because if you don't, he doesn't get the message. And Brenton never shouts. Brenton Damagachi. I didn't want to show the machine to anyone. I never planned to show it to anyone. But Snick was really giving me a hard time. He called me a liar and a fake, which I am not. Kelsey Donnelly. I thought Brent was going to cry, really. Judy and me told Snick to knock it off. Brenton Damagachi. Finally, I said to them, fine, come over to my house after school today, and I'll show it to you. But you have to swear on your life you'll never tell anybody about it. Judy Douglas. If he really did have a machine that could do your homework for you, I wanted to see it. I work so hard on my homework, and Brenton still gets better grades than I do. I wanted to see what tricks he was using. Kelsey Donnelly. I didn't even really want to go to Brenton's house, but I had nothing else going on after school, so I figured what the heck, beats sitting around. We rode our bikes over. Brenton's mom. You can imagine my surprise when Brenton came home from school with that boy Sam, who they call Snickwad, and these two girls. I don't remember the last time Brenton had a friend over. Maybe when he was a toddler and the kids had what we used to call play dates, and he never had a girl over. When he was little, the other kids never seemed to like him, or they couldn't relate to him. I really didn't know what was going on. It was always a matter of concern. I hoped he would grow out of it as he got older, and he would eventually fit in better socially. I was thrilled when the three of them came over. I thought that maybe Brenton had finally made some friends at school. I quickly whipped up a batch of those cinnamon rolls from a can and brought them up to his room for the kids. Just trying to be hospitable, you know. I wanted to hang around and get to know them a little, but they acted like they wanted me out of the room. So I went back downstairs. After all that happened later, I wish I had stayed. And we'll stop there for this portion. Starting to get a little bit more into the plot revolving around this mysterious homework machine that Brenton says he has. Now, whether or not it's legitimate and it actually works, we'll find out in part 3, which I hope you'll join us for as we get those next parts posted and online. Bye.